Hello everybody, I hope they are good. New trading week, and as I said in yesterday's Bitcoin Sunday update, I have the feeling that this week might be quite a boring one because we don't have any major news announcements. Alright? Especially today, on Monday, because it's a bank holiday day in the US, it's a Labor's Day. So even if Bitcoin is open 24/7 and you can trade any time, if the stock market is closed, Bitcoin is going to feel that in the chart and there is going to be a lack of liquidity, okay? Which can trigger less volatility in the chart, alright? So not expecting much for this week. But if we go into detail and we start with the weekly time frame, you can see that this week we left this candlestick here, alright, with a very long wick. So I think that's a week that could potentially get filled, especially considering that, you have here the mid-range, that's the 50% of the week also, and the weekly 50 MA, and also the daily 50 MA, it's coming down, and it's gonna go towards that zone too. So, I'm aiming again for the mid-range, If you remember, some weeks ago, we were saying, okay, we were in this range over here, let me mark it, okay, that was your range. Then we were saying that the market maker was building his shorts, and it was very likely to see, a fake move to the upside, a deviation above this range before coming back down, then consolidating the resistance and let you have the drop towards this previous range, okay? You have then two potential supports. You have the range highs, okay? You can see it there, that was resistance twice, that could have been acted as support. So you were waiting to see a deviation here to make some business in this zone. Otherwise, price is gonna dump into the range lows, okay? You can see that that's what happened. But right now the range lows, and if you notice what is going on here, all I see is that we are testing support. We're holding above support. So my long from here, from 31,414, I think it was, I told you in Twitter a couple of weeks ago, well actually when we were here this day, I told you, okay, I'm out of my shorts. My shorts are done from that level, okay? And I was looking for a pump here, because I was telling you the other day that by looking at the liquidation heat maps, I could see quite a lot of liquidity here that would even hit, if you notice here, by a couple of $100 only. So we were talking about the idea that after this aggressive drop, the retail trader is going to be a bit scared and is not going to want to put any money on the table, on the chart, okay? So if you induce traders with a large green candle like this one, then traders are going to open longs and they're going to put some money in the table, okay? And then you got some unemployment data, the S&P pumped, also you got the grayscale ETF news, market pumped, and then it got retraced literally 2 days after. All right, so you can see that the market psychology is there. The psychology of the move is currently happening. They are developing a move here, okay, inside this zone. Now you have to try to understand what is going on, and I'm sticking to what I said previously, which was that you still got a week here that is not filled, okay, at 20,700. So, in my opinion, well, I've been telling you this for a couple of weeks, okay, I expect some consolidation here. Okay, you might see some consolidation, but eventually we want to break down, and we're probably gonna go towards this week. That's what I think, especially now that we are below the 50 EMA in the weekly time frame. You can see that here it acted as support 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now you got it as resistance. We just tested as resistance, okay? What about if we do some more tests and then we drop? Right? That's what I'm saying in the chart. So that's, in my opinion, the psychology of the move. Now, that doesn't mean that, let's go to the daily time frame again. That doesn't mean that we might still see some more consolidation here, and this means a pump. All right, so in the short term, as we're holding above support, I can open new shorts here. I think it's more likely that we see another pump, okay, maybe towards the mid-range, because what I've been telling you, we have a lot of confluence there. So that's what I'm looking for to happen this week, okay? Again, if you lose this support and you drop below this zone here and you consolidate, then you're gonna go lower, and then that's when you can open shorts here, okay? Even if you lose $1,000 in appreciation in price, it doesn't matter, because it's gonna happen, okay? Then it's going to happen, that drop, and still it's gonna be $4,000 of a drop. right? So plenty of profits to be made there. But as long as we're holding above support, I prefer to close this short, right? That short is closed. And, again here, I have no reason to open shorts. I prefer to look for bounces, okay? We managed to get this bounce. Can you get another one? I find it quite likely, to be honest. I find quite likely that we see a new, $1,000 pump this week. Why not? It can happen, okay? We're above support. So that's what I'm thinking we might see this week, if I'm honest with you. And let me take a lower time frame. Okay, you're gonna have a problem here because you have the 4-hour 50 MA. So that could be as a resistance, but if you manage to get above it, then I can tell you we're gonna pump to fill this liquidity pool over here and also this one over there, okay? That's another confluence we just found, okay? That's a mid-range. Those are the kind of setups that I'm looking for, okay? Now, 1 hour time frame, let's see what we find, okay? It's quite boring, you can see. Kind of like an uptrend, getting above the 1 hour 50 MA, that could give you some kind of a bounce. Again, check this out, that's a crazy big liquidity pool here. Let me do it blue. Liquidity pools must be blue, otherwise they don't work. But, guys, as I was telling you that this liquidity pool over here could get retraced. That one there, that's basically the same as this liquidity pool here. Okay, so tell me a reason why, if this one got retraced, then why can't this one get retraced too? Okay, so those are the kind of setups that I'm looking to trade this week. Now, in terms of altcoins, I've been trading some altcoins I just closed some positions. If we go to Solana, in Solana you can see that we've been testing the 1 hour 50 minute resistance, but we didn't drop further, okay? We just continuously making higher lows, you can see here, right? So that was telling me, okay, we're gonna see some kind of a squeeze, and I thought that squeeze was gonna be to the upside, okay? So around here, 1935, I think I got it. 1935, I got this pump, and I just closed it at 1984, okay? Now, that trade, I didn't want to lose some appreciation in price, because if you notice here, it's true that you got some wicks to the upside, and price is not breaking through, okay? Yes, you got this week, which makes me think that we're going to continue going higher, but that was a very good trade for me. So now what I'm waiting here is, if price maybe retraces today, we test again the 50 MA, and that's when I can open another position. I'm targeting this week as the first take profits, okay? But of course here, you also going to have the problem of 4 hour 50 MA. You see it there, alright? So that is telling me that if we see the drop and I can open a new position, then I'm going to close my trade in this zone here, because that's this week over here, and also the 4 hour 50 MA, right? So again, these are the types of trade that I want to get in now when there is not much volatility in the chart. But if we see a pump, get above the 4 hour 50 MA, test it as support, then you can target this liquidity pool here or this one over here. All right, so that's a few ideas with Solana. Same happened with Chainlink, another trade that I took. Okay, this one was last night, and I don't even know how I caught this. Okay, I entered at 6.03. Again, I don't even know how I entered there, but that was, I think, around here maybe. That was literally before going to bed, okay? Because I saw that in the 4 hour time frame, we just go above the 4 hour 50 MA. You can see there, and we were testing a support. So that was telling me, okay, a pump is imminent. We're gonna see a pump, okay, happen in the chart. So I entered quickly, and then I went to bed. So I wrote this trade from 603 to, so from here, well, I think it was around here, okay, to, I think around here, okay. Why? Again, for the same thing, because this looks a bit overextended. Again, it could pump here, all right, but this might drop a bit and retrace maybe towards this level, okay. And Polkadot, I'm currently in this trade in Polkadot because Polkadot hasn't pumped yet, okay. And I entered also last night in this yellow line because this was a previous support. If you go into the daily time frame, you can see it there, all right? Support, support, support. So last night I went into this chart and I said, okay, this might have been a deviation. I don't know, because now we're above it, above this level. And we tested a support several times, okay? And in the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we still haven't pumped aggressively away from the 1 hour 50 MA. So in my opinion, it's likely that dot do something like this, okay? And that will probably take you, you can see there, to the 4 hour 50 MA. All right. So even if Bitcoin is not doing much and you don't have, major news announcements, it doesn't matter. You can still trade. Of course, you have to be cautious, probably more cautious than usually, but you can still find some trades. All right. So that's in the very short term. I don't know if later today or tomorrow I'm gonna post a video about my perspective or my view in the altcoin market. I'm not gonna be charting, again, different coins. There is already 2 videos. Maybe I'll do a 3rd video in the future, but I want to bring you a brief idea of what I think that the altcoin market could do next, okay? So that's pretty much everything regarding the charts. And I would like to take you back to Bitcoin. And let's see what Bitcoin is doing. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna move much this week. Okay, if I'm honest with you. Let me remove these 2 levels here. Okay. But anyway, yes, with Bitcoin, I would like to see this week a move towards the mid-range. Okay. If we lose this level over here, and we are below it, and we cannot reclaim this level, okay? So if we do something like this, then I'm gonna open a new short, okay? And we're gonna target the liquidations that we have at 23,500. Also at that place we have, I think we got the monthly 50 MA, 23,700, okay? But if we break below this, then the next target is going to be the 50% of this week at 20,700, okay? So that's what I see for Bitcoin. But again, first I would like to see this week over here getting filled at least the 50%, which is around the mid-range, right? So that's pretty much everything. Now let's go to high block capital to see if there is anything of interest. So the liquidation levels in high block capital are showing that the delta right now is at $9 billion worth of short liquidations. Last night when I did the Bitcoin Sunday update, I think we were around 14 billions if I remember correctly. And this basically means, if you go around $10 billion worth of short liquidations, it's telling you that the position that it's at risk right now are shorts. Okay? A risk coming from a short squeeze to the upside. You can see here, total short liquidations 338, total long liquidations 111. So that means that for every long position there are 3 short positions open. Right? So of course, there is going to be a motivation from the market maker to set a short squeeze and start to hit those liquidations, okay? Because most of the market is currently positioned in a short. Also, if you check the SPACs to the right, I also tell you these SPACs are very important because it shows you the levels and the direction of those liquidations. And you can see that to the downside, these spikes are much smaller than the ones to the upside. You can see that if you check to the upside, you got here. Let me try to find some. All right, here. $227 million worth of short liquidations of times 50 leverage traders at 26,436, okay? So 26,005, a lot of liquidity. Also, you go here, traders that are in shorts in times 25 leverage, you got loads of liquidations at 27K. Okay, that's the mid-range. So that's what I mean. There is more liquidity to the upside in short term. Alright? And in the liquidations heat map, let's see if there is anything of interest. 7 days time frame. Okay, it's showing a lot of liquidity at 28K. I still see that level way too far away. Okay, I think that's around the range highs. But of course, the mid range is gonna be our first target if we see a pump. All right, so I'm gonna dismiss this target for now because first I want to see a reaction of Bitcoin at the mid-range if we get there. All right, and if you check the monthly, I know there is going to be a lot of liquidity to the downside. There you go, at 23,000. And in the 3 months time frame, this is a chart that I've been talking about for quite some time. I think 11, 12 days ago maybe. And I was telling you guys, this drop here, this week, is not a coincidence that we didn't hit this level, that we missed by a couple of $100, okay? That's not a coincidence. And then you got this consolidation. And I was telling you, what the market maker is going to try to do is to induce traders to open longs. How can they do that? With a big green candle. Then you got that candle there. And then you can see that the liquidations here have increased. So you can see that this yellow bar at 23,600, okay? You see it? It didn't exist before that pump. I don't know if you guys can see it, okay? So for example, we were here, that yellow bar didn't exist. But then because you saw that pump, you can see this yellow bar is starting to appear. And that means that traders have open longs with this pump. So there is going to be a lot of liquidations at this zone, okay? So you can see that the liquidity in this zone right now, it's a lot more than what we had, a couple of weeks ago, which tells you that the ultimate idea of all these moves could be to just build more liquidations in this zone. So when price comes down and hit this zone, they're going to release a lot more liquidity than they could have done in the past. So this is why I also think that in the midterm, we're probably still going to see a drop. All right. So again, take this with a pinch of salt because I'm just a random person giving you my personal opinion. So it might be completely wrong, but that's what I see in the markets, okay? I think that in the short term, this week we might see a pump to 27K. Again, if it's possible, but in the midterm, in a few weeks, it's very likely that we see that drop below, to hit this zone. So that's what I think, guys. Anyway, I don't want to make this video any longer, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.